Hey guys, welcome to this week's FAQ and Freebie Friday. Now before we begin, if you're new to the YouTube channel, these videos are all about answering your health related questions. So if you have a question concerning your health in general, if you have questions about diet, nutrition, herbs, supplements, or really anything related to the topic of health and wellness, and you would like our help in answering your questions, all you have to do is leave those questions in the comment section below, and we'll be answering those based on popularity. The questions we feel are going to be the most beneficial to the group overall, and of course the questions that we are capable of answering. And something else really great about these videos is that every week from that comment section, we select one lucky person to win a free bag of tonic herbs or medicinal mushrooms. And even if you don't have a health question for us this week, but you're interested in winning some free herbs and mushrooms, all you have to do to be entered to win is simply give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet already, and then just drop any comment in the comment section below. And with all that being said, let's get to this week's questions. Okay, so taking a look at our first question, I think this is a really interesting question and maybe a lot of you could relate to it on some level. The question reads, is there any reason why when I use T3, which is the active form of thyroid hormone, or tyrosine, iodine, selenium, even a single time I get more tired, more bloated, and more fat gain? Okay, so basically what this person is describing is that they're taking specific nutrients, or in this case, they're even taking an active form of thyroid hormone to intentionally increase the rate of metabolism and improve their thyroid function. However, they're experiencing adverse side effects and what they describe to be some of the common symptoms of actually hypothyroidism. So feeling tired and fatigued, a digestive bloat is a sign of low thyroid function, impairing digestive function, and even more fat gain or weight gain, all signs of low thyroid function, yet the person is taking active steps to increase their thyroid function. And there's actually a pretty simple explanation for this. There could be a variety of things affecting these certain things in your body and giving rise to these symptoms. But one of the fundamental things to understand, I think, is that anytime you take proactive steps to increase the rate of metabolism, you're actually going to increase your body's overall demands for more energy and more nutrition. So basically, if you're increasing your metabolism and thyroid function, your body's going to be a lot more efficient at oxidizing nutrients. And this includes all of the macronutrients or substrates, fats, carbohydrates, proteins, as well as key vitamins and minerals. So for example, if you're increasing your thyroid function, whether that's through the use of a thyroid medication, or if you're just trying to increase isolated nutrients. So a lot of the nutrients he described are nutrients that are essential for the production and conversion of thyroid hormone. This means that the thyroid will inevitably increase, or at least you would think so if you're taking the active form of thyroid and you're supporting its production and conversion. And what this is going to do is make the various tissues, organs, glands, and cells in your body have a greater demand for more nutrition to keep that metabolism at a high rate. So if you're increasing your overall thyroid function through something very direct like a thyroid supplement or isolated nutrients, you're going to have to also make sure that you're supporting the functioning of the thyroid at a higher rate through more nutrition. So when you first start taking a thyroid supplement, or if you're taking isolated nutrients to increase the rate of thyroid, some of the things that your body is going to need extra of or more of is first and foremost magnesium. You're going to need to make sure that you're getting enough magnesium so that way your body is properly storing glucose as glycogen and utilizing the sugar and salt in the body. The other thing that your body is going to need more of is just more calories overall. It's going to need more protein and more B vitamins. So these symptoms could be related to a deficiency in protein, calories overall, so not also increasing your calories as you increase your metabolism could result in adverse side effects. You're going to need more magnesium than you've had before probably. You're going to need more salt in general, and you're going to really want to pay attention to the calcium to phosphorus ratio in your body. Anytime that the phosphorus is higher than the calcium in the body, this can lead to all sorts of negative excitatory reactions that are basically going to impair your body's ability to produce energy. And this is actually one of the major reasons that going to a doctor and just getting getting a thyroid medication prescribed to you is really not the best way to go. You can certainly use a natural desiccated thyroid or supplements like the ones you described to help support your body and rebalance and regulate the hormones in the body. But if you're not taking a systemic approach, then you're going to run into adverse side effects or symptoms. And rarely will any sort of doctor, unless you're sort of a functional practitioner of some sort, will they give you the other important pieces of information you need to support your body's ability to handle the thyroid medication and to help your body be balanced overall. So again, the things your body really needs as you're restoring thyroid function is more calories, more protein, more magnesium, more B vitamins, perhaps more salt even, and an optimal calcium to phosphorus ratio. These are subjects that we touch on in both the Forever Healthy Hair course and the Healthy Weight Loss course, and something we talk about in great detail in a sort of step-by-step way in the Perfect Thyroid course. So if you're experiencing adverse side effects while doing very logical, rational things to improve thyroid function, then it's likely your body just has a deficiency somewhere else. You really shouldn't be experiencing really negative side effects by taking a high quality thyroid supplement or high quality supplements. If you are, then it's likely you're deficient elsewhere, and the things I mentioned are some of the key places to take a look at. So, taking just a thyroid medication or taking isolated nutrients for thyroid health is usually not enough, because everything that you do and eat affects your body. So you really need a complete picture of your physiology and all the things that affect thyroid function, so that way you can, to your best ability, mimic and support your body's natural thyroid production and function. So this is likely the primary thing going on, but there could be other factors. So for example, the isolated nutrients and supplements you talked about, they could contain allergenic substances. So it's possible that you're allergic to the certain supplements that you're using, and that could result in the bloat and feeling tired. It's roughly 99% of supplements that are allergenic, and this is because of not just the fillers that a lot of these supplements use and the casings, but also through the process of making most supplements and isolated nutrients, there are various chemical solvents and enzymatic solvents that are involved in the processing of them that are allergenic to most people. So that's why it's really important to get the great majority of your nutrients through diet, which is going to be the safest way and the least allergenic way to get your nutrients. So when it comes to getting these isolated nutrients you talked about, hopefully you're getting them through food and not through isolated nutrients. Tyrosine you're going to find in just most high quality protein sources, so you should usually get enough tyrosine from eating high quality grass-fed meat, grass-fed liver, shellfish, even eggs and milk and cheese. And then in terms of the selenium and the iodine, you're going to find that in high-quality shellfish, particularly oysters, shrimp, squid, etc. And even in regards to the thyroid supplement, maybe taking a desiccated thyroid rather than a synthetic T3, or try to find it topically. That might help with any sort of potential allergenic effects of it that could be causing these issues as well. All right, so getting to our second question. This question reads, what would be the best strategy to survive or even thrive in winter, especially if you are very cold intolerant and live in a really cold place? Okay, so the first thing I'm just going to say is that if you're cold intolerant, then this to me just says that you're hypothyroid or your thyroid is just working suboptimally. Seasonal affectiveness disorder, or SAD, basically feeling sad, depressed during the wintertime, that is just one of the symptoms of hypothyroidism, because during the wintertime, your thyroid is going to get lower naturally. There's less light, which means there's less activation of the cytochrome C oxidase enzymes, so the enzymes that activate mitochondrial respiration and support thyroid function and metabolic function. And there's also going to be a greater increase of stress substances during the wintertime because of the lack of light and because of the cold. Cold is a stress, which means that these stress substances are going to be opposing thyroid function. So everybody experiences the negative effects of winter, particularly affecting their thyroid in a negative way. However, the people that seem to be very negatively affected by winter and cold, so whether that's you just can't stand the cold, you hate the cold and are very cold intolerant, or if you experience a sort of seasonal affectiveness disorder where you're sad, depressed, lethargic, tired during the wintertime, that's going to indicate that you were probably low thyroid to begin with, and then come wintertime, the thyroid is just getting sort of dangerously low. But even a healthy person with good thyroid function is going to feel less vibrant, less energized, and more tired in the wintertime, even if they're thyroid is working pretty well to begin with. So everybody tends to be affected by winter in this way, but there are things that you can do. So first and foremost, you have to do everything you can to improve the health of the thyroid through the winter time, which just means that come winter time, you're going to have to be a lot more disciplined. But this is true in pretty much every civilization, every culture that experiences a winter. Winter is a time where you really have to work a lot harder to survive. You have to be very prepared. You have to have the right food stored. You have to have fire and heat and warmth, and you have to do as much as you can to really mitigate the effects of winter. So in terms of modern living and surviving modern winters, fortunately, things have gotten a lot easier. The one thing I'm going to recommend is the use of light. So that's either getting a red light therapy machine, something like a Juve machine, getting bright incandescent light bulbs and putting those throughout your house, rather than the use of LEDs or anything emitting blue light or more synthetic, less full spectrum light, and also fire when applicable. So it might be too cold to do a bonfire, but if you have a fireplace, keep a fire going at all times too. That fire is not only going to provide warmth and heat, but the light emitted from natural fire is of course infrared and very therapeutic and beneficial. So it's the infrared light that you get from a red light machine. There's even infrared light from full spectrum light bulbs like bright incandescent bulbs, and of course there's infrared light coming from a fire. All these things will add warmth and light, which will boost thyroid function. I made a video a couple of weeks back that shares about 10 different studies on how the use of red light therapy can improve thyroid function to the point of getting people off of their medications. And this is something that you'll see also that occurs during the summertime. Typically in the summertime, people need about half the amount of thyroid medication that they would need during the winter time. So usually you're doubling up or at least increasing your dose by a fourth because of the negative effects or anti-metabolic effects of winter. But utilizing bright light, red light is going to be very, very helpful. And while we're on this topic, just getting sunlight whenever you can. So in terms of getting natural sunlight during the wintertime, obviously the sun sets a lot earlier. So getting outside in the early part of the day is going to be crucial. Wake up as early as you can. And even if it's cold out, just bundle up, try to leave some skin exposed, find a place that's shielded from the wind and be outside. When I was doing a lot of manual labor, I noticed that I was just significantly healthier than doing any sort of indoor or computer work. I was very resistant and resilient to the climate. So even if it was cold, I could tolerate it better. So I really think that a lot of our health issues come back to the fact that our modern world mimics winter. We're inside a lot. We don't get a lot of sunlight. Most people spend 90% of their time indoors, and it's really sad. So I know not everybody works outdoors and is doing manual labor outside, but everybody has at least an hour a day, especially in the morning, to get outside and get some form of light, or on their lunch break even. So I'm not recommending that you quit your job and start working outside, but just getting outside as much as you can, even if it's cold, is going to be very, very helpful. Don't sit inside and hide from the cold. That's not going to make things better. But when you are inside, make sure you're utilizing red light therapy. The other thing I'm going to recommend, very simple, but take a warm bath or warm shower. This will increase your metabolism and boost the thyroid. It'll increase your body temperature, pulse rate, etc. You could even add Epsom salts to the bath, which will further help with the utilization of the thyroid hormone and your muscles' ability to store your glycogen and sugars. The other thing I'm going to recommend is that you exercise. Don't exercise too vigorously. Do strength training while avoiding any sort of hyperventilation. Building muscle throughout the wintertime might be more difficult, but it'll help keep a higher rate of metabolism. The other thing I'm going to recommend is perhaps getting a desiccated thyroid supplement, or at least take a look at some of the specialty nutrition that we talk about in all of our courses for improving thyroid function. You're really going to want to make sure you're getting those specialty nutrients that your thyroid needs to produce the thyroid hormone and to also activate the thyroid hormone. So I would recommend checking out the Perfect Thyroid course. Basically, all these tips I'm giving to help you survive or thrive in the winter are just all tips that are going to help increase your thyroid function, so that way you're producing a lot of energy. That way your body is staying warm and your pulse rate staying high. When your thyroid gets low, your basal body temperature gets low, and that's why the cold sucks, and that's why you become intolerant to it, and also your energy production becomes less, and that's why you become more fatigued and depressed in the winter time. So really any and everything to support natural thyroid function will help you cope with, survive, and thrive in the wintertime. Hopefully these specific tips will help you. These are things that I do. It's helped me dramatically become very tolerant to the cold and winter. I don't mind it at all anymore. In fact, I'll spend time outside no matter what the weather is like. And I think that has a lot to do with the functioning of my thyroid and health overall. All right, guys, that brings this week's FAQ and Freebie Friday to a close. Remember, if you're interested in winning some free herbs or mushrooms or having your questions answered, all you have to do is make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, you've given this video a thumbs up, and then just drop your comments or questions in the comment section below. For those of you whose questions I've answered, if you're interested in checking out any of the material or studies I might have referenced throughout this video, remember you can find links to all of that information, links to the studies, links to our online wellness academy, our blog, and tonic herb shop, all in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.